I think you lead into one of the first questions that gets asked a lot, and that's, are German kitchens better than British kitchens?
Absolutely. My opinion, completely and utterly, absolutely. There is no negotiation on that whatsoever. The best single thing that we did for our business. I still remember that day when the German kitchen rep come in and asked us to become a dealer and a billier. And I would say it was the best and most successful thing that our business has gone through ever. You know, it just not just from like what people think they're getting, which they are getting, you know, the increase in quality, the better designs, the flair, and the fact that I always say with German kitchens is it's a different suite of materials is the biggest way of describing it. That because it's all manufactured in one place, you can have a worktop and a splashback and a kitchen door made in the same material, where that offering is just not around or is not in English kitchens. Because contrary to what people think with English kitchens, there is no manufacturers of English kitchens. You know, there are carcass manufacturers that then go and buy doors in, then go and buy worktops in, then go and buy handles in, and then put it together and say, this is our kitchen offering, if you like. And even some of the guys that, like your masterclass in places, they're buying doors in. They're spraying them, but they're buying doors in. They're not bringing in raw materials into their factories and outputting finished kitchens. That's not what English kitchen manufacturers do. And they won't cut splashbacks, worktops, breakfast bars, kitchen doors, all that kind of stuff into the same material. So yeah, are they better? Absolutely. Best thing I ever did for my business. And just from a remedials point of view, from a warranty point of view, from not having headaches that come back from jobs, it's just, we wouldn't be able to do the volume we did today without it.
Yeah, we always have to answer that question too quite often to clients. But for me, it's just being over to Germany, and of course we've been to the Schuller factory on multiple occasions. The manufacturing process there you couldn't replicate that over here in the UK. I think we're perhaps 15 years behind the Germans. They sell us all this secondhand machinery that's just been totally decommissioned, and you know the manufacturing process is just phenomenal. But it's really difficult to pick clients up and take them over to Germany, you know, just to show them the manufacturing process. But it's completely different. They make a much better product.
I think for me, one of the biggest differences is that with a British, I mean, there are some fantastic British manufacturers out there that make some awesome kitchens, but they tend to be small, independent companies. The bigger a company gets in Britain, the more they feel like they've got to use cheaper materials to. So it's all about price. It's very much price-driven, British manufacturing, whereas German manufacturing is all about quality. So just because, the Billier makes 3,500 kitchens a day, Schiller makes 600 kitchens a day, but they never change a material because it's cheaper. They'll only change to a better quality material if it's available because they know it's going to last. For me, it's the mentality of the two different countries in how they manufacture products.
I describe that as being Germans are black and white. It's right or it's wrong. There is no negotiation. They do not sell you a 600 pull-out. They don't do it because they're not confident that they can get that 600 pull-out to live through a customer abusing it. You know, that's great. Does that not give you security that that's their principles? They don't do gloss worktops because they know they're not fit for purpose. They don't do vinyl wrap doors because they know they fall apart. And they just giggle at us because they go, oh, you English? Yeah. You're still selling vinyl wrap doors? 15 years down the line after you realize that they started falling apart and you still continue to sell them to customers. Why?
Because it's cheap. It's a cheap way to make a door.
Yeah. But why would you want to give it? They just compute and go, but why would you want those problems? You know, to them, it's not even negotiable with them. Why? Why would you want those problems to come back and fight them later down the line?
But I think the Germans build kitchens to last, whereas there's a lot of like the budget suppliers, and without mentioning too many names, but there's all the entry level, what we call the entry level kitchens. They're designed for repeat business. So every 6 years, your kitchen's going to fail and you put a new one in, and the price replicates that. So if you could buy an entire kitchen for 5 or 6 grand and it lasts you 5, 6 years, then you're on to a winner. So, and that's the British mentality, is keep replacing it. With the Germans, let's keep it so in 10 years time, it's going to still look as good as the day you put it in, and it's going to last you 20 years. So it's a completely different.
That kind of brings you on to there, is that the Germans' concept is they actually are high long-term rental in their country. So, but you rent a house without a kitchen, you buy a kitchen for that house that's a rental house, and then you take that kitchen with you when you move. You know, that they're not throwaway kitchens, they're kitchens. They are kitchens that last for 20 years, and they will take them when they go with them and have them refitted, because then that's why the ease of fit, they're going to last. They do these conversion packs to convert from a 2-bed flat to a 3-bed flat. So you can actually buy the products that would convert you from one to the other. It's a completely different way of kind of looking at what they do, but there's certainly not a throwaway mentality when it comes to kitchens.
But we seem to be, as well in Britain, we seem to be transfixed on it's got to be fitted kitchen and a fitted bedroom where everything, you close all the gaps between the units and the walls and the ceilings. And whereas German design is very much, it's freestanding, really. A German kitchen is almost, it's a freestanding kitchen. It is fixed to the wall, but you don't use ornate cornice, and it is a kitchen that you can just pick up and take to another property.
Yeah. And I can't think that anyone would accept that now. Anyone would think, well, how I'd refit this. I have customers that come in and go, I want an extra couple of cabinets, but I'm not going to add cabinets into my current kitchen. I'm going to scrap my kitchen, throw it in bin, and buy a whole new kitchen. Yeah. Great for us, but because we're now doing a full kitchen, not a remedial job that we probably wouldn't want anyway. So it's a different way of thinking, but it just gives you that comfort when you realize their mind is set to completely stop hassle from their perspective. They don't want comebacks. They can't afford. You generate a door. I always say this to a customer. You generate a door that's a new door in the range, and suddenly it takes up, within a year, 20% of the sales in your kitchen. That means that suddenly you're doing 3,500 kitchens a day, which is actually more like 4,500 at minute, where they stand at the moment. But 3,500 kitchens a day, suddenly 700 of those are in this new door. You get 3 years down the line under your no quibbles warranty that the Germans offer. You multiply 700 kitchens a day by 3 years worth of manufacturing, and then realize that they're all over the world. How do you put right these problems? You don't. Your company's bust. So this is why there's no negotiation on making sure that these are right in the first place.
Again, that's another big difference. Germans won't quibble over a warranty issue. We find, especially with Schiller, we've not dealt so much with Nvidia at the moment, but when we deal with Schiller, if there's an issue, it's an email. We send them an email, we'll tell them there's a problem, and it's sorted. They'll send a new part out. It takes a little bit longer because it's coming from Germany, but there's none of the quibbles that you get from British suppliers where
there's no small print issues.
This and that, you shouldn't have done this, and shouldn't have, there's no questions asked. It's just.
I've had it before with both manufacturers where we know that it's something that the customer's done, but the German manufacturers will send out the new parts, but send it out with a care and maintenance manual to say, look, issue this while we're doing it to your customer, and let them know that they cannot do that again. And if they do that again, then we won't stand to the warranty of it, because it wasn't a warranty issue in the first place, but we want to make sure that your customer's happy. So they'll stand to it when they know it's not their problem. But they just want to keep that customer informed and say, look, don't do that to it, and you won't have that problem again. It's tested to certain points, but you can't take it beyond that, because you are going to run the risk of damaging it. The principles are great, and they just look after us. They want us to run a successful business, and they want us to believe in them, don't they? And if they don't back the warranty, we lose faith in them, and then we don't want to sell them. So, yeah.